Finally, top-flight football has returned to Tannadice. After 4 seasons in the Championship, Dundee United are back. Unbeaten in their opening 2 matches, tonight they face the fastest starters of this new season. It's Dundee United against Hibernian.
I think we were very good. All in all, we showed that we can compete at this level comfortably. Apart from one moment that we will learn from and we should have done better in, it's a point and we'll be positive, move on.
Really enjoyed watching us playing and the togetherness that we already have as a group. You could see was abundant today. A really good performance and a massive 3 points for us.
We won the game, which I think in the opening match is the most important thing. We showed that grit and achieved the 3 points. I think to win in the manner we did and by the margin is extremely satisfactory for us as a group. It helps increase that early momentum that we've managed to put in place.
Jack Ross's side have hit the ground running. 2 games in, 6 goals scored. They are looking to win their opening 3 matches of a season for the first time since 1974 under the late great Eddie Turnbull. In Kevin Nisbet, they also boast the most potent striker in Scottish football over the last 2 seasons. It has been a really positive start for United on their return unbeaten under new boss Mickey Mellon. They boast a youthful squad of players with a team spirit befitting of a side who romped their way to the top of the Championship last season. And they've made an impressive transition to the top tier. An opening day draw against St Johnstone was followed by a win away to Motherwell on Saturday. Tonight though, it's top of the table Hibernian. A perfect start for the team that so narrowly missed out on top 6 last season. Rangers and Ross County also boast 100% starts. Well, it should have been a full Premiership card this midweek, but Aberdeen and Celtic have had their matches postponed after breaching coronavirus protocols. More on that in a minute. But Motherwell against Livingston, Rangers taking on St Johnstone, and Kilmarnock's trip to the Highlands to face Ross County all go ahead. Celtic and Aberdeen were due to play each other at the weekend. That one is also postponed. Well, it's great to be back at Tannadice for top-flight football once again, and a really exciting match in prospect for tonight. Chris Boyd and James McFadden alongside me for this one. But before we get to tonight's match, once again, Scottish football in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Luke Shanley can bring us right up to date.
Yes, Ellie, we know that Bolingoli, the Celtic defender, left after Celtic's win against Hamilton on the opening day of the season and went on a 1-day trip to Spain. And when he came back, he did not enter quarantine, which is required. It's a breach of the regulations. He featured against Kilmarnock, as we saw in the live Sky game at the weekend. He has been tested for COVID-19 in the intervening period, but it is in a breach of the regulations. And this is on the back of what happened in Aberdeen when 8 players were out in a bar in the city, which is under a lockdown just now. 2 of those Aberdeen players tested positive for COVID-19, and the First Minister Nicola Sturgeon saying today that there is a warning for football. She already had something to say about it on Friday, but now you look at it and you think that this is unwanted attention from the government. She said that footballers are role models and people do look up to them, and also that there can't be one rule for footballers and another rule for everybody else in society. It's a headache for the SPFL. There's fixture postponements, as you mentioned, and given that they're worried about what happens in the winter weather-wise, they want to get a lot of games out of the way early on in the season. So that will be a headache for them to reschedule matches. And basically, football is on a yellow card. If Nicola Sturgeon says she won't hesitate to give it a red card if there is any further breach, and that would have huge ramifications for the game in this country.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, huge ramifications. Football's certainly in a very precarious position. Can you believe just a few days on we're talking about this again, Chris?
No, I can't, and it's a disgrace, to be brutally honest. You know, there's a lack of respect for your teammates first and foremost. You know, to leave the country. I mean, there's no words. Do you know what I mean? It's terrible. But you know, when you listen to the First Minister today, the way she spoke. She's more or less threw it back to the SPFL and the SFA to show that they're fit and proper to deal with the situation. So it's over to them, because what I will say is if they don't, she's going to step in, and she will. And Celtic are obviously missing their next 2 games, and with a Champions League game in the horizon next week, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the First Minister's got something to you know, say in that as well, because we know that UEFA won't be as lenient as maybe the SFA and the SPFL have been over the years in Scotland. For me, UEFA won't give Celtic a second opportunity.
We saw the Celtic statement that was released. It was very strong. Neil Lennon, again in his press conference today, very strong on the fact that they seem to be as shocked as any of us that Bolingoli left the country. It's a difficult one. He's broken not only club rules, not only the football rules, he's broken the government rules. Do you expect to see him in a Celtic shirt again?
I'd be very surprised. I think that, first and foremost, you're right, he's broken the government rules. He's made the decision to leave the country. Neil Lennon said that the players could have time off, don't leave Glasgow. He's not just left Glasgow, he's left the country to a place where when you come back you have to quarantine. That's the same for everyone. That is the rules. He's broken them. He's let the club down. He's let the whole of Scotland down, because it's a dangerous thing to do, to go away, not quarantine, not tell anyone, and to come back shows a total lack of respect for the game, for his teammates, the club, for the whole country. I just can't believe that a player would make that decision. I know what I'm going to do.
And it was a decision, wasn't it? It was a decision that
I've got a day off, why don't I go to Spain for a day? Come on, listen, the rules are in place to safeguard the whole country. He's broken them. I would be very surprised to see him in a Celtic jersey again, and I'd be interested to see the punishment that Celtic dish out to him.
Yeah, I mean, decisions for Celtic to make for sure, but for the SPFL, a massive headache. Like Luke touched on there, it's a very tight schedule. Both clubs involved have European games coming up. There isn't room for games to be postponed.
Well, I think I touched on it at the weekend, Ailey, as well, that the next two Aberdeen games for me shouldn't have went ahead, and that's now happened. But it's over to the SPFL and the SFA to deal with it. There's been questions thrown at them over the recent months and the handling of a lot of things, so it's up to them to go and deal with it. That's why they're paid what they're paid, that's why they're in the positions they're in, so they have to deal with it, they have to fix it. I said at the weekend as well, if they didn't have the right measures there in terms of, you were never going to expect nothing to happen, with what's been going on, that they might have had a game called off here and there, and if you've not got any contingency plans in place for that, then it's baffling for me that you wouldn't have it in the first place. But this now is just an extra headache that they're going to have to deal with, and they are going to have to deal with it. There's no getting away from this. They're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, they are, but thankfully we have a game on tonight, and it's one to look forward to, James. Two teams that love to just score goals.
Yeah, it is, and it's a game that we'd love to be speaking about from the start, but we can't because of the actions of Bolingoli. But yeah, listen, two teams that have done well. I watched Dundee United at the weekend. They played really well against Motherwell, and Hibs have obviously started the season brilliantly. They're flying. At the minute, they're a team to beat. They're top of the league and they're there on merit. They've started the season well, and it should be an interesting game.
Yeah, you looking forward to it, Boydie?
Yeah, I am. I think it's two teams that's obviously Dundee United to come up with that bounce of being promoted, and they're looking to carry that on. What I will say is it's a long season, so we'll see what happens then. But Hibs, I think that I've been impressed since Jack Ross has came in, and first and foremost because he's not afraid to leave players out, he's not afraid to change things up. Everybody thought that his style would have been 3-4-3, 4-3-3 kind of type thing. He can mix and match. He's got players, he's got he can adapt to different games. I think we've seen that again at the weekend there against Livingston, where he dropped him. Well, he didn't. He probably left him out. You have to do it now. Certainly in the Scottish game, there's so many different styles you come up against. You have to do that. You have to be versatile as a coach, as a manager, and the players have to adapt to playing different systems for different games. Well, I think on that as well, James, that a lot of people, maybe when you look at the likes of Scott Allen, Stevie Mallon, and people like that, they would have been the first names in the team sheet for Hibs over a number of years now. Well, since when they've been there, and now you've got they're mixing it up. I think with the attacking talent that Hibs have got, they want to get the two strikers on the pitch. You've got Darryl Horgan and the wing as well. They're attacking. Gogic coming in is an excellent signing for me. Yep, I know we'll touch on him later on but that then allows the likes of Newell and that as well to go and play forward, which the Hibs fans want. They want to have attacking football. That's what they've been brought up in over the years. But when you look back at maybe Hibs last year, they lost a few more goals than what they expected. So bringing in Gogic gives you that solid part in the midfield at the bottom of that, whatever he plays. And the attacking talent they've got, they're definitely a team that can cause a lot of problems to a lot of teams in this league. Yeah,
a really tough test for Dundee United tonight. Let's hear from one of their starting players. Mark Reynolds has been speaking to Luke.
Mark, two unbeaten teams coming into this one tonight. What sort of game can we expect?
Hopefully an exciting game, and hopefully one that we come out on top. We were confident coming into the season that with a good team and with a good group of players. I think the manager spoke at the weekend that there was maybe a couple of boys in their squad with that kind of fear of the unknown and not having been at this level before or not been at this level for a couple of years. So it's nice that we've come back and we've competed in the 2 games, and obviously Hibs themselves and a great run of form. We've got exciting players and scoring a lot of goals. So it should be a good game for us to watch and play in.
Well, it'll be a good battle with Kevin Nisbet, who seems to be flying after that hat-trick.
No, absolutely. I think the big thing for us last season was coming into the Premiership and testing ourselves against the top strikers in Scotland, and as you say, his recent goal scoring's put him up there, and he's grabbed all the headlines, and he's fitted into a Hibs team that's looking to do very well this season. So no, our job tonight's going to try and keep him quiet and hopefully get some goals ourselves up at the other end. 2
brilliant games against Hibs last season in the Cup with plenty of goals. Does that help you guys that their team hasn't changed that much, that you kind of know what to expect?
I think a little bit. I think obviously we come out of that game and we conceded a lot of goals, and obviously think of the results we wanted. But yeah, we're familiar with the way they play. Obviously it was just Jack Ross was just kind of just in the door then, and was just kind of getting his ethos into that team. So he's a bit more time to work with them and kind of get things a bit fresher. So they're a team that's playing well, some nice attacking football, as I said, and we'll look forward to going and competing against them and putting myself to the test.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like Reynolds will be part of a back 3 for Dundee United, with Ryan Edwards making his debut. Liam Smith drops out. Nicky Clark scored on the opening weekend from the spot. He returns to the starting lineup alongside Louis Apere. Luke Bolton, on loan from Manchester City, keeps his place, but they will be without Lawrence Shankland. He had a small fitness test, but hasn't made the squad. On to Hibernian, and after a comfortable 4-1 win against Livingston at the weekend, Jack Ross names an unchanged side. He sticks with that 4-4-2 formation that worked so well. Daryl Horgan and Martin Boyle providing the width and supply to a potent front 2 in Christian Doidge and Kevin Nisbet, who scored a hat-trick in that win. Marshalling the midfield is new recruit Alex Gogic, and he's with Luke Shanley.
Alex, Hibs top of the league. How much confidence do you come into this one with?
We are confident. Obviously, we know that it's through hard work, the results, all the preparation, and I think winning the 2 games, obviously, we are confident, but we know what Dundee United can bring.
What about the challenge tonight? How tough do you think Dundee United will be, who are also coming in with a lot of confidence, having been unbeaten?
100%. They've done very well last season, so coming as well, win the last game. They're also confident, so it won't be easy, but I think we know what we have, and I think if we do everything right, we should be getting the 3 points.
Tell us about your role and what the manager wants from you, not only tonight but through the season.
I think I'm here to try and just stop teams attacking and helping my defenders out, and then hopefully counter-attacking.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
guys. Thank you.
Yeah, great match in prospect tonight, and it has taken United 4 long years to make their way back to the top flight. A rebuilding of the squad, 5 different managers, a lot of heartache along the way, and then finally the season that they all wanted. We'll look back on a roller coaster few seasons next.
Hibs desperately hoping they can arrest such an alarming slump today. Watson and Daly, and Dundee United are in front. Conway closing in on goal. Delightful. Johnny Russell will score at the second time of asking. 3-0, and Hibs' awful, miserable, terrible run continues.
It's 6 Premiership games at home in the top flight against Hibernian without defeat for Dundee United. That was one of them. Chris Boyd and James McFadden alongside me as the 2 meet again for the first time in 6 years. Both clubs have tasted relegation in that time, but for United it was a turbulent road back to the top.
I honestly never felt that we would get relegated.
Known as the Doon Derby. Dundee United fans will never be allowed to forget that.
During the game, you still think that, we're going to get out of this and we're going to win the game.
Dundee it is who are going for a winner, and it's Whiten, and that has left Dundee United on the edge. They appear doomed. Dundee United have that sinking feeling.
I felt it myself, obviously, but I felt it more for the fans and the people that work at the club. and you know, really tough day to take.
If we go back to the end of 2013-14, which is when they were in the Scottish Cup final, they lost to St Johnstone in that final, and the following summer they sold Andy Robertson to Hull and they sold Brian Gould to Sporting as well. That didn't seem to impact them too much, at which point they'd had 45 points. They sold Stuart Armstrong and Gary Mackay-Steven to Celtic, and then that's when it all fell apart.
We lost a lot of good talent. Up until that stage, I would say that, you know, the club recruited well and replaced guys that moved on to bigger and better things. Unfortunately, I don't think that happened.
The loss of those guys the previous year had absolutely killed them. They never recovered from it. Jackie McNamara was sacked in the September. Mixu came in at that point, couldn't turn it around, couldn't arrest the slump, and down they went.
But Ray came in with his own ideas as well, new manager, and again we got to the last game and, you know, it didn't quite happen for us.
I don't think people realise how tough the Championship can be. There's a lot of challenges we didn't overcome, which we felt like we should have.
Having been relegated, I would have liked to, you know, be able to go up straight away. The fact that we didn't get promoted in the end was, you know, it was a failure.
At that time, I think the chairman, Stephen Thompson, wasn't a beloved figure. Ray McKinnon basically became the face of the club, so there was a lot of pressure on him.
But then a new manager comes in, new plans, he wants his ideas out, and maybe it was just a mixture of two ideas at such a short time. Couldn't really get the message across to the players. He
did have a tendency to talk an awful lot and not say very much at the same time, which I think the players found difficult, having spoken to a few of them. In trying to sum Shava's time up at United, I would say, who knows? I have no idea what that was about.
The new owners had come in, Tony came in, the management had come in, and everything was looking up, and they had this vision, and they could see continued success for the next 4 or 5 years. After the first few games, we felt as though the squad was strong enough and we could put enough wins together to put some pressure on and either catch Ross County or go up through the playoffs.
They'd done reasonably well, took it to a penalty shootout, but the way they capitulated in that shootout was devastating.
And Hackey saves it, and saves St Mirren. They are staying up, Dundee United are staying down.
It meant another season in the Championship. I mean, we've sat as a team, we've had this discussion that maybe that wasn't such a bad thing, to really gel as a team, really kind of work out who we were as a team and what we wanted to do, and to be successful from there, and that extra year could stand us in a lot better stead for then going on and being successful in the Premiership.
I felt so much better coming into the following season after that. There was more of a buzz. It wasn't total devastation after that game. We knew we were so close.
The fact that they stuck behind Robbie Neilson after that is indicative of the change in mood around the city and around the club at that time.
There is pressure. We are the favourites to go up. We are the kind of squad. Lon Shanklin is a marquee player in this division, and we kind of went the opposite way and just embraced it and says, no, look, they're expecting us to be a big team, they're expecting us to turn up one game, so let's go and do it.
Breaking news coming from Scotland right now. The Scottish FA Board to suspend all domestic, professional and grassroots football.
It was a strange kind of promotion. Like, there was obviously the kind of votes back and forth, and then the votes not getting received, and then you're kind of trying to follow this, but also trying to just keep yourself detached from it, because there's nothing ultimately we can do about it.
I was watching Sky Sports News, and it came up Dundee United are promoted to the Premiership.
A few of the boys who cracked their beer open and kind of thought, wait a minute here, like, there's no point in being champions if we don't go up.
I wasn't too sure what to do. I wasn't sure, are we promoted, are we not? What do I do?
And then an hour or two later, they confirmed that, yeah, we were champions, but also we would be promoted. Although we've not had the huge celebrations that we'd ultimately have liked, our focus now is on Premiership football and trying to show that we belong back playing there this season.
Now Hearts have announced that their former manager, Robbie Neilson, has returned to the club from Dundee United on a 3-year deal.
I think it was slightly disappointing that obviously we'd laid that foundations and done so much good work, but I totally understand kind of his reasons for doing it. It's just got on with it, and for us it was just about focusing and kind of concentrating on life after Robbie Neilson and waiting on a new manager to come in to lead us in the Premiership.
I made my debut the year we went down. Finally to see it change, slowly but surely we're all going in the right direction. It's a great feeling. I take a lot of pride in it. I'm over the moon that we're finally here, and I just hope this season we can put our foot down and make a wee marker and show them that we're ready to compete.
you forget quite so much has happened. And it was interesting to hear Mark Reynolds say that it was a blessing that they didn't come up through that playoff final a couple of seasons ago. I don't know whether you agree with that or not, but the galvanised unit that he's talking about, you saw them at the weekend, James. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, you know, they worked hard. You can tell they're taking in, you know, the advice and the instruction from the manager. I'm not sure it was a blessing that they stayed down, to be honest. I don't think Dundee United fans would agree. They go and sign Lauren Shankland, and he's on a lot of money here when they're in the Championship. So if that had been the case and they'd went up, they would have spent more money and brought in better players. Maybe that's what Mark Reynolds means. But no, listen, well organised, well drilled, hard working side, and they have players that can go and attack as well.
Yeah, and they deserved that win.
They absolutely did. Absolutely. I think, you know, they recognised the dangers that Motherwell pose, and they dealt with it well. You know, they didn't sit back to defend, but they were organised, and when they had the chance to break, they got numbers forward. You see here, they're putting bodies. All right, listen, they've not got loads there, but it goes out for a corner, and it's another chance they build. They defended when they had to, everything that was in front of them. You look at them here, they're picking up the ball as soon as they get a chance to attack. They're piling bodies forward, and this was early on in the game. Motherwell started decently, but Dundee United, you know, countered very well. Got to go across the goalkeeper here, but it showed their intent. And even from set plays, you know, it's a good ball in. Motherwell don't clear it. Tony Watts here, and Ian Hart's he's on his bike, he's ready to get it. He gets in front, and it comes to Luke Bolton, he puts in a brilliant ball. Motherwell switch off at the back post, but Mark Reynolds is there to slot it home. But they tried to keep it alive, they tried to hit Motherwell in the break when they had to, and as the game went on, they actually had a good bit of control in the game as well.
Father, you mentioned there about Ian Hart's. What impresses you most about him in the middle of the pitch?
Just his energy. He covers a lot of ground. He's not afraid to do the dirty side of the game, whether it's breaking up play, and he looks to pass forward as well. He's been a good addition. I know he came in last season for Dundee United. He's done well for them, and he's settled into the Premier League, you know, as if he's been here his whole career.
Yep.
Yeah, when you look at the squad that United have, the players, when Mickey Mellon's not afraid to go with young guys. It's a very young squad. You've got Mark Reynolds at the back, you've got Mark Connolly, the experienced heads, if you like, playing alongside today's debutant as well, not in a back three. But those are the players you're going to have to look to help guide this young squad through this Premiership season. Yeah,
definitely. You know, when you see the Mark Reynolds 33-year-old, but he's been over the course and distance in Scottish football. He knows it inside out. You know, maybe a lot of people would have questioned him when Derek McInnes let him go at Aberdeen. Could he come back up to this level and perform? But he's shown he can. You know, he's obviously had a few years in the Championship, but he's came back up, got a goal at the weekend, and the partnership with him and Matt Conley, and obviously Edwards coming in as well. You know, three big boys will go and attack it, so you know it's not going to be easy for Christian Doig and Kevin Nisbet. You know, it'll be a good challenge, but you know the experienced heads. You know, that'll be one thing I think Mickey Mellon will look to work with. Matt Conley's been about for a number of years now as well. I know at 28 there, but he looks a lot older than that. I can say that because I used to play with him. We always used to have a running joke with that, but you know, Matt, he's you know, I actually felt sorry for him when I was at Kilmarnock for a little. You know, what the season I was there with him, because you could tell he got a big move as a youngster. I think to Wolves, Bolton, Wolves, and it didn't really work out for him. He found himself up in Scotland and done really well for Kilmarnock. But you know, when it got to the latter stages, as I said, that year I had, it wasn't really working for him. He was back down south, but he's came back up, and he's been a good signing for Dundee United. And once again, it'll be that experience at the back will be key if Dundee United are going to maintain the form. But no, listen, it's a big plus to have those experienced guys in your team.
Yeah, not so much experience at the other end. Louis Appere starting again, he's just 21 years old. Nicky Clark has played a lot of football in Scotland and back again after scoring in the opening fixture. But they're going to look to those two to provide the firepower, and because as much as they're going to have to need to keep it tight at the back, they'll want to score here tonight.
Yeah. Listen, Mickey Mellon spoke after the game on Saturday and says, look, we're Dundee United, we're expecting to come up and to have a real good goal. We're not going to be happy sitting in and, you know, taking points here and there. They will look to attack. Appere, I was impressed by him in Saturday as well. I've watched him before, coming off the left hand side. Very good ability, but he's a physical presence for Dundee United as well. And Nicky Clark, you said, he's been there and done it. He knows where the net is. He's a clever player. You talk about getting that balance between youth and experience. It's a perfect partnership. Obviously they'd rather have Lauren Shankland, but fair play to Appery, he's done well.
Yeah, and it's a big opportunity for them with Shankland out.
Yeah, 100%. You've got to take it. You know, Nicky scored the first week of the season. But the good thing here is tonight, you know, when you look at the three strikers, well, there's four on, but you know, with Kevin Nisbet, Lawrence Shankland's always one we would have been speaking about had he been playing in Nicky Clark. There are guys who have shown that they can score goals at the lower levels in abundance. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue that. Kevin Nisbet's definitely started the best out of them all. But you know, that step up, it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Yeah, well, let's get the thoughts off the Dundee United manager. Mickey Mellon is with Luke.
Mickey, both teams unbeaten coming into this game. What should we expect tonight?
I think it's a fantastic evening for a game of football, isn't it? I think there'll be two teams that want to get the ball down and pass the football, so it should make for an enjoyable evening of good football.
Still no Lawrence Shankland. How big a blow is that?
Well, listen, everybody's here to play first team football, so honestly it just gives somebody else the opportunity to come in and shows what they've got, because everybody is signed for Dundee United here to play first team football, so we'll adjust accordingly and look for a performance for whoever comes in and plays in his place.
Ryan Edwards makes his debut tonight. What should we expect from him?
Well, listen, he's a good player and he's somebody that I know very well, and when I was able to get in the building and see what maybe the group needed in order to keep moving us forward, Ryan was right up there, right at the top end of who I would like to have brought in, so we're delighted to have him here. He's a good leader and he's a fantastic competitor, and I'm sure he'll be a great addition to the group.
What threats do you have to be wary of tonight?
Well, listen, Hibernian's an established team. They've started really, really well. They've got plenty of pace in their team from wide areas, and obviously the two boys up front have scored 4 goals at the weekend, so we know that there's plenty of threats there, but they'll obviously know that we have threats as well. We'll concentrate and make sure we cause them enough problems to give ourselves a good chance of getting a result.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, if there's one manager who knows what it takes to make that transition up a level, it's Mickey Mellon. I think he's done it with just about every team he's managed. How important will that be in terms of bringing that confidence, that belief to this Dundee United squad of players that they deserve to be in this league?
It'll be vital. Even when you listen to him there, he's positive. You can tell he's all for his players, and that's what you need anybody you speak to about him. That's what they say. There's one thing, he's been down in England for a number of years, but he's definitely not lost his Scottish accent, that's for sure. But you know, when you look at, he's built teams before, and it's a rebuilding process at Dundee United. It doesn't mean you've came out of a division. You're going to have to build. You're going to have to get players in. The board will need to back him, and he's shown over the years he can do that. But he'll see this as an opportunity to come back up the road. I mean, we're not getting away from it. Dundee United are a big club in Scottish football, and if they get it right, you know, this place, I've played here loads of times. James is the same. It can be a fortress for Dundee United, but for me, they're going to have to get a number of players in the door if they're going to challenge at the right end of the table.
Yeah, well, a big match tonight for Mickey Mellon. It's been a great start for him and Dundee United so far this season. It has as well for Jack Ross at Hibs. 2 wins from 2, and he's obviously very content with the start to the season. We'll hear from him next.
The part of the club I can control, if you like, or I can affect, is what I can do on these pitches with the players every single day. And so my job is to take away a lot of the other debate or discussion away from them to make sure they can focus on that, and I think we've did that.
So when you're ready, come on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, come on, bring it on. Yeah, 'cause I'm the winner, and the winner stays on, stays on. So when you're ready, come on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, come on, bring it on. Yeah, 'cause I'm the winner, and the winner stays on, stays on.
A few faces from the past involved in the last Premiership meeting between the two sides here. Plenty of entertainment as well. We'd take some more of that tonight, but from a Hibs point of view, just another 3 points will do them nicely to continue their positive start to the season. And Luke Shanley has been to speak to their head coach Jack Ross about where he thinks they are at the moment.
Have you been surprised so far with how it's gone this season, given what you had to put up with during lockdown and pre-season, or is it where you are exactly 100% where you want to be?
It's a good question. It's very easy when you sit here on the back of 2 wins to say, yeah, I knew exactly where we would be at, and this is what I believe we would do. But I felt probably because I came into the job mid-season. I think whenever you come into a job mid-season, you probably yearn for that pre-season period because it gives you that real close contact time with the players for a significant time period.
Every club has had an impact with coronavirus. From this club's point of view, how have you dealt with the challenges that you've faced?
They've changed, they've evolved. The level of uncertainty, I think, around the initial period, and elements of confusion, if you like, as to what the future would look like. And I know there is still uncertainty about what the next few months and years are going to look like as well. But certainly in football, we feel as if we've stabilised a little bit. The part of the club I can control, if you like, or I can affect is what I can do on these pitches with the players every single day. And so my job is to take away a lot of the other debate or discussion away from them to make sure they can focus on that. And I think we've did that.
The owner is over. We saw him in and around the training ground, Ron Gordon. What's your relationship like with him? And given the fact he's going to be here for a period of time, does that help you as a head coach?
He's obviously been in quarantine for the last couple of weeks, so now he's emerging from that. I'm playing golf with him tonight, so if I let him win, probably help us moving forward as well. But he's not a difficult person to get on with. He's quite engaging. He's good company, and I've enjoyed the dialogue we have. We've spoken regularly through lockdown and in the recent time via Zoom and through emails, etc. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. I think he'll enjoy being around the club more frequently, because I think it's difficult when he's a little bit detached from it. So I'm sure he'll enjoy it, and I think hopefully it will give him that better feeling for where we're at and where we might need to continue to improve upon both.
There's so much more development that can come from him.
He's somebody who I've been aware of for a long time, and I've watched his career, and it, by his own admission, it stalled a little bit, and he had to probably make, I think, key decisions on where he wanted his career to go and how what he could do to make sure it went in that direction. But he's a really good all-round young striker. His goal-scoring record, as you've mentioned, in recent seasons through different leagues is very, very impressive, statistically very good. But it's his all-round play that gives us huge encouragement as well.
Looking at one of the players who's done very well here at Hibernian in recent times, Martin Boyle. When I spoke to him last month, he didn't say he was leaving, he didn't say he was staying. Is there still conversations ongoing to try and secure his future?
Yes, we're actively trying to negotiate something that would make him want to stay at the club. He's absolutely terrific to work with in terms of how infectious he is around the club in general, and what he brings on the pitch as well. So we'll do as much as we can to keep him at the club. I think he very much enjoys his football here. I think he would openly admit that. But he's at an age and stage of his career that he will have key decisions to make, and I absolutely understand that.
Just finally, Jack, is the title challenge on to the Old Firm then?
Yeah, I suppose people keep asking if you want the season to stop now, but it would be okay if it did. No, in all seriousness, I think we're enjoying our football at the moment. We're enjoying the challenge of the games coming along, and hopefully we'll continue in the manner we're in at the moment.
I wonder who Luke Shanley's team is asking about Champions League qualifying, but with regards to Jack Ross, I mean, it's been very impressive stats-wise. Since he's come in, only Celtic and Rangers have won more league points. How impressed have you been with the job that he's done already at Hibs?
Very impressed, and it's not a surprise. He came with a good pedigree in coaching and his management. I know it didn't work out at Sunderland, but before he left to go there, he was brilliant for St Mirren. And I think that the job at first was to rebuild the confidence of the squad. He's done that. He's putting his own stamp on it and brought some good players to the club as well. So yeah, listen, I'm not surprised, and I think he can take them further as well.
I think, James, sorry, just to add to that as well, when you go back to last season, when Hibs and Hearts made the choice of going and getting the managers, and Hearts could have had Jack Ross, and Hibs got in there and got him in the door. And I think when you look at it from that point of view, there was Hearts were trying everything to get players on the pitch, different formations, everything. Jack Ross went in and went with the players he had. As I said, we spoke about it, like Jack's style of plays on the front foot and everything. He realised he didn't have that type of player. He's went and signed the players that allows him now to play his style of play, get his two strikers on the pitch, get players going forward. And for me, it's exciting times at Hibs.
Yeah, and you talk about bringing players in and scoring goals. Kevin Nisbet's come in, he's made the jump up from the Championship, and what a start he's had.
Yeah, 100%, but I think Jack touched on it there as well, that it's not all been plain sailing, and came through at Partick Thistle, had a few setbacks, went down the leagues, didn't really work out for him at Dumbarton and Ayr United, and then all of a sudden he feels as if, right, I need to go to Wraith Rovers, and then it started to kick on. He's went League One, scored goals, then they moved to Dunfermline, the Championship, scored goals, you know, and he said, you know, 2 games in the Scottish Premiership, and he's got a hat-trick in them in one of them as well. But you know, the thing for me is, when you look at him as a player, he's got the physique, he can run, he can finish with both feet, but this is the most important thing. He loves scoring goals. You know, a lot of youngsters nowadays are players, you know, it's about looking good. Get yourself in the middle of the
great position, right on the defender's back.
Get yourself in between the sticks with a chance of scoring goals. The defenders don't want to be in there and marking you, and then all of a sudden gets the chance, you know, for his hat trick with the penalty, tucks it away beautifully as well. But you know, his movement is quality as well. But the partnership for me is the interesting one, and you know, I think James will back it. You'd rather be up there with someone. And Christian Doidge, for me, when you go back to the start, was probably wrote off right at the start. His Hibs career didn't really start well, but now when you see the two of them, I think this could be an interesting partnership because they've got everything. You know, they're prepared to run in behind. They're prepared to, if it's a physical battle, they'll match anyone.
Tough game, won't it?
But tough game against the three of them. But I think we'll when you look at the Hibs in the wide area with Boyle and Horgan, if you've got 2 strikers, get the ball in the box. You know you've got the security of Gogic behind you. Get the ball in the box, and Newell in there as well as another player who likes to go in the ball and play forward passes. And as a striker, or as you know, either of them, that's exactly what they'll be wanting. Balls in the box, because they can do damage in there. That's for sure.
Yeah, Alex Gogic is a new signing as well that's come in, James, and he was very impressive at Hamilton last season. But what does he provide to this Hibs team to allow these forward players to go forward, to express themselves, to play on the front foot?
Security. You know, you heard him speak. He says, I'm in a job to defend and help the defence out. And that's when you've got players that we've mentioned, Doidge, Nisbet, Horgan and Boyle on the wing. When you go and attack, you leave gaps. Gogic is so clever and so happy to do the ugly side of the game, to defend, to fill the gaps, to allow the attacking players to go and express themselves. So he's there to back them up, sit in front of the defence if needs be. He's been a great signing, and it's something that they've missed, because last season a lot of the times you look at the midfield, good football players get on the ball, they'll make things happen. When the going gets tough, they were a bit weak. He comes in and makes them stronger. He's a brilliant signing, and he goes and allows the attacking players to express themselves.
I think you only need to look at it as well, though, James, that Jack Ross is prepared to leave Stevie Marlin and Scott Allen and that out the starting lineup. And you know, if you didn't go and watch Hibs, you'd probably say, why are they not playing and Gogic is playing? You know, it's a but he realises and recognises the job that he does in that midfield area, and as James says, it allows attackers to go and do what they want. But most important thing for me is that he stops those passes into, you know, with Nicky Clark tonight, he stops those passes into, you know, the strikers, you know, when they can get in get on the half turn and they can get out and hurt you. He's and I think you love it, you touch on it as well, he enjoys doing the dirty side, you know. And
I think when you look as well, like if it's a big centre forward, he's happy to go and compete with them, and it takes the pressure off of the back line to allow him to go compete for the header, let them drop and maybe pick up the second balls. He's just there to help. He's such a good teammate.
It's your old favourite, isn't it? It's just you love the old one. He just loves defending.
Yeah, he does. He loves defending.
I mean, we've spoken about so many Hibs players, and we've not really gone in depth on arguably their best player from last season, albeit he had a lot of injury in Martin Boyle. And we heard Jack Ross speak about him. How important is it that Hibs do keep Martin Boyle?
Listen, I think it's vital. He's, as you said, for me, he's the best player. He can play in a number of positions, and I think, you know, to give credit to Nisbet coming in, we're obviously speaking about him for his hat trick, but Martin Boyle's a huge player for Hibs. I think they'll have a plan in place if he does leave, but they'll be looking to tie him down because, you know, the goals that he brings, his pace, they can change the system while he's on the pitch, and he can perform many different positions for them. So he's a huge player for them.
I think that's the unfortunate thing in Scottish football, when you get somebody that comes in and does so well, and you've only got them a few years contract, you're going to lose them. They're going to move on because, you know, the contract's not so, you know, a couple of years or whatever. You don't want to tie yourself in case it doesn't work. He's been one of those guys who's come in. He's done really, really well. Will he move on to bigger and better things? Yeah, probably. And he deserves it because, you know, his work ethic and his finishing ability and his work rate. is the most important thing, and he will get that move.
Yeah, well, he's playing tonight, and it will be an exciting matchup between these two sides. Kick-off is not long to go, and Mickey Mellon is looking to make it 3 unbeaten as Dundee United manager and put the new boys top of the Premiership table. Well, for Jack Ross, he could make history, the first manager since the great Eddie Turnbull to win his opening 3 matches. I'm looking forward to this one. Stay with us. There's more Scottish Premiership live football coming up at the weekend. We are back with Hibs at Easter Road on Saturday when Motherwell are the visitors. Join us at 5 o'clock. Then on Sunday from the Tony Macaroni as Rangers travel to Livingston. We'll be on air from 3:30, both games live on Sky Sports Football. Well, here at Tannadice, it is a debut for United defender Ryan Edwards, who joined from another Tangerine side, Blackpool, in the summer. And he may have a busy evening keeping this man quiet. Kevin Nisbet has the most league goals in Scottish football over the last 2 seasons. Kick-off is next.
Cheers, thank you.
Responsible gambling is very important to Bet365. That's why we've created a few tools to help you stay safe and in control. Like deposit limits or reality check alerts. And if you want to take a break, there's always Time Out. Join our other members already using these features. Have a look next time you log in. And please, gamble responsibly.
Well, let's get the pre-match thoughts of the Hibs boss. Jack Ross is with Luke.
Jack, how much confidence is flowing through the team when you arrive here with 100%?
Yeah, we come here in the best possible frame of mind. Also very much aware of why we've won those 2 games. We recognise the things we've done right within the game, with and without the ball, and it's about making sure we do that again tonight.
Dundee United, what do you expect from them, given they don't have Lauren Shanklin still?
Yeah, but they went and won at a very difficult venue for Park on Saturday without him, so that shows how good a side they are and how good a squad they have. I think that they have as often a promoted team have that early energy and enthusiasm, and when they gather points in that early period, it grows that momentum. And what they do is they come into a campaign with a winning mentality from winning their respective division last season. So we knew this was going to be a difficult match, irrespective of their previous 2 results.
Tell us a bit about Josh Doig. He starts again. It's the same team, but how much have you been impressed with him at left back?
It was a young player that was given the opportunity through circumstance. We're having some more development players involved in our first team squad throughout pre-season, and he's grasped that. He was really impressive in training. Then when the pre-season fixtures started, he continued that, and he earned the opportunity to play in the opening fixture, and I think even last weekend his performance level had increased again from the opening match. So delighted with him. Still a very young man. He'll have dips and bumps along the way, but for the moment he's deserving of his place in the team.
We're all grateful that there is a game today, but there's been further regulation breaches with other teams. Does that hammer home the message again to your squad, Jack, and every squad, that everyone needs to stick to the guidelines?
I think that, for us it's not, obviously the situation has developed over the course of last night and today, and it's been obviously commented on by Celtic as a club and by Neil, but for us I think we had continued to communicate that message, and I think I spoke in the aftermath of the Aberdeen incident that we had reinforced that message to the players. So I don't think today we've had to do that any more than we've done previous. I think the players are acutely aware of their responsibilities. Players and staff are acutely aware of their responsibilities, and it's important that, or more important than ever, that we continue to adhere to those to the guidelines.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, great that this game is going ahead tonight, because it's one of those ones, although United have been out of the top flight for 4 years, it's one of those fixtures that always sort of stands out a little bit. It's always 2 teams that like to play, like to score goals, and in the Scottish Cup games here last season, unfortunately with no fans in here, but this place was jumping, wasn't it?
I think it's always one where you feel as if it's 2 teams over the years that have had attacking players that will go for each another, and I don't expect it to be any different tonight. I think both teams will see this as an opportunity to go and get 3 points and maintain what's been a great start for both. And as I said, both will look at it and say, if we play to our potential, we've got a chance of picking up the 3 points.
What's your expectations tonight, James?
Well, I think when you talk about the defence having to be on their guard, both defences, it shows you that 2 teams are attacking and can score goals. So although both managers won't be looking for it, I hope we get some goals and a good exciting game.
Yeah, and the incentive as well. Whoever wins tonight will top the Premiership table for the next 24 hours at least.
Well, it's good to always to always sit on it, even so early on in the season. But that's the challenge for the players right now. Go and win the game, you're going to be top of the league. You know, and I'm sure that's the message that the managers will be saying it in the dressing room. And I think James touched on it as well. The good thing about Mickey Mellon is when he speaks and he's talking about the other teams and everything, he always seems to bring it back to his own club, which is a positive thing for players in there. When you're sitting listening to him, he's involved. He wants the club to do well, and I think that's a big thing for players. When you finish your message on a positive.
Yeah, we're actually being looked over here in our position in the stand by the Dundee United players that aren't playing tonight. Lawrence Shankland amongst them, sitting up there eyeing down at you, so you better be nice about him. But you know, how big a miss is he for Dundee United, and will there be a slight sigh of relief in that Hibs dressing room that they don't have to face him tonight? Yeah,
listen, he's a big miss because he's a brilliant footballer. He scores goals, but as Jack Ross said, they went to Motherwell, a tough place to go, and won the game without him. So it shows the strength of the Dundee United squad, and it shows that, you know, players are waiting to get their chance. They've taken it. It will still be a tough game, but I'm pretty sure Mickey Mellon would love to have Lawrence Shankland in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and well, I thought that was the Hibs team walking out, not quite yet. Chris, what do you expect from this evening? Can you pick a winner between these two, which sounds strange considering United have just come up, but I mean, to have done such a positive job so far in their opening two games?
If you're going to force me to pick a winner, I'm going for an away win, but both teams to score. There you go.
Well, that sounds good.
We'll get a bit of excitement. We'll get a bit of entertainment, hopefully. But you know, I think that I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's obviously the first time we've seen both teams. We've got Hibs coming up, you know, a few times over the next couple of weeks. So it's good to see them. And you know, when you see people like Scott Allen walking past you there on the sidelines as well, you know, it shows you the strength and depth and the Hibernian line-up as well. So you know, I'm looking forward to the game. I think there will be goals, but I'm going for an away win.
Agree?
Yeah, listen, Hibs are favourites because, as you say, Dundee United have just come up. Hibs have got, you know, very good attacking players, and for Dundee United to get something, they'll have to be at their best defensively. They can attack you from any angle of the pitch, Hibs, and I would expect them to go and win the game.
I mean, we obviously are only 2 games in, but you know, the number of players that we've mentioned in that Hibs attack, do you see this Hibs squad currently as perhaps the strongest outside of Celtic and Rangers this season?
Yeah, I think that Jack will probably still looking to add a few more, but he'll be happy with what he's got at this moment in time because they've started well, and you know, it's a catch-22. You know, if you maybe try to bring in a few players, you know, you maybe want a couple of bumps and then you can bring them in. See, I need more players. Can you take your saying to the board? But they've started well. There's no every manager wants to bring players in. Jack will be no different. But the most important thing for Hibs is they've points to bag. They come here tonight with an opportunity to stay top of the league, and then a home game against Motherwell the weekend as well. You'll be looking at it saying, if we can get 6 points, that would be 12 points for our opening 4 games. I'm good at maths as well, just to let you know. But you know, what a fantastic start to the season that would be.
Yeah, the Hibs owner is here for the next few months after being in quarantine. I'm sure Jack Ross will be perhaps nipping his ear on the golf course asking for a few extra pennies.
Never going to admit they're happy. They always want more, and quite rightly so, because those bumps will come and they need to be prepared for it. They don't want to react to it, they want to be proactive. So yes, they're always looking to improve, and quite rightly so.
Yeah, and it's a huge match for both teams tonight. The players eventually coming out of the tunnel. They've kept us waiting. Hopefully it's good things come to those who wait tonight. Let's join our commentary team, Andy Walker alongside Ian Crocker.
Thank you, Amy. It is an intriguing matchup in Tannadice. 2 teams who've made really good starts to the new season. Dundee United have taken 4 points from 6. Hibs have taken maximum points, and they are top of the league. Let's have a look at the 2 teams. Dundee United are still without injured goal machine Lawrence Shankland, so Nicky Clark comes in to partner Louis Apere up front. Ryan Edwards makes his debut at the back after joining from Blackpool. Liam Smith and Logan Chalmers drop out. Luke Bolton is on loan from Manchester City. Ian Harkes brings a bit to the party. His dad John played for Sheffield Wednesday, West Ham and others. Hibs name the same side that thrashed Livingston. Kevin Nisbet scored a hat-trick in that game. Christian Doidge scored a hat-trick against Dundee United in the Scottish Cup last season. Alex Skogic has added some resolve after joining from Hamilton 18-year-old Josh Doig is impressed at left-back, leaving long-serving Lewis Stevenson on a bench that includes Scott Allen, who started his career at Tannadice. Don Robertson is the referee. The players waiting to take the knee. Well, Hibs are top of the table, but Dundee United will go top themselves if they win here tonight. It's very early days, of course, but you would still take it. And this does have the makings of a proper contest, Andy.
Yeah, it's great to be back here at Tannadice and really looking forward to the contest. I saw Hibs at the weekend, very impressed. They got 4 goals, could have scored more, but I think this will be a tough one. United have started strongly too.
Dundee United winners at Motherwell at the weekend, having drawn here on the opening day against St Johnstone. Here is Luke Bolton on loan from Manchester City, set up that Fir Park winner for Mark Reynolds, and he's managed to deliver there.
He's shown his quality there. Takes that from 30, 35 yards out, gets to the byline, he gets a really decent cross into the box. Very promising.
Yes, Dundee United will be hoping for a bit more of what he provided at Fir Park. '18-year-old Josh Doig starting the season at left-back for Hibs. And he's caught the eye. Here's Harks. Jamie Robson won't get to that. It's cleared by Martin Boyle, but only as far as Butcher. Connolly. Butcher again. Reynolds, who scored his first Dundee United goal at the weekend. Paulett. Now Jamie Robson, if he can get there, he can. And he secures a corner as well.
Excellent ball from Paulett, very nonchalant outside of the right foot. Takes him to the byline and United on the attack now.
An early opportunity to make an impression at Tannadice. The big centre-halves are showing interest as Paulett takes it, just over the head of Ryan Edwards though, making his debut. Since Jack Ross was appointed as Hibs manager last November, only the Old Firm have collected more points. 6 out of 6 so far this season. John Robertson, the referee. Dundee United back in the Scottish Premiership after 4 long years in the Championship. Hibs themselves, of course, spent 3 years in the Championship before eventually plotting a route back. 2 teams who did fall on hard times league-wise. Connolly over to Robson. Clark. And it's going to be brought back for a free kick for Dundee United.
Yeah, he tried to play the advantage, Don Robertson. Just gave it a second or two, but he was fouled in the act of this layoff here, Ricky Clark. Passing it around with some confidence, the home side.
Robson ready to take this, another set piece early on for Dundee United. Mark Reynolds last to arrive in the box, and it's left for Peter Pawlett to send it towards Edwards and Reynolds. Butcher trying to keep it alive, but Joe Newell on his case. Crowd noise is provided, but if you want to watch the game without it, with natural sound, or unnatural I guess, from the stadium, this is what you have to do. It's the first top-flight meeting between these teams since 2014, but they have met in the Championship and in the Cups quite a few times, including last season when Hibs beat Dundee United 4-2 in a Scottish Cup replay after a cracking 2-2 draw here. Boyle. Butcher's challenge. It's some collision. McGinn and Robson, and I think we all felt that. That was bad.
Well, Robson was totally committed. I don't think he was a favourite for the ball. Paul McGinn is... I think it looked really nasty. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. Robson was totally committed, and he was the one that was on the move. McGinn looked to be the favourite for the ball, but Robson just didn't want to give him a first touch.
It's a collision that absolutely made you shudder. We can only hope that they will both be okay here, but neither have moved much.
Well, the medical team were on immediately. I think they realised, both of them, sprinting off the bench, they realised it was a really bad one.
There will be lengthy treatment required here.
Certainly McGinn is on the move. That's a good sign. Hopefully Robson will do the same.
Yep, Paul McGinn coming to. But it looks like Adrian Spola will be called upon for Dundee United.
I just don't think they're taking any chances. It's so serious a head knock, especially one like that. But Robson was going at some speed.
Jamie Robson has come round as well. Paul McGinn is back on his feet. And Jamie Robson will play no further part. Adrian Spola will come on, who scored against Hibs in the Scottish Cup replay that we mentioned back in January. That was his last goal. In fact, he came up with a few goals. The Argentine. Sadly, it's game over for Jamie Robson.
And he gets a yellow card as he was going off, Ian. Don Robertson showed him the yellow card. He only thought it was reckless and not dangerous.
The yellow card to send him on his way. And he is walking back now to the dressing room. Perret. Dundee United know they will have to be hard to beat at Tannadice this season. They were last season in the Championship, where they only lost once. Horgan. Doig away from Edwards. It's come back off Doig though.
Yeah, he's a bit unlucky. He likes to do that. Very impressed with him at the weekend at Livingston. He was constantly offering himself as an out ball in the last third. He gets past a couple of challenges here. Just that last one came back awful.
Deutsch. Nisbet. Boyle. Blocked by Edwards, and probably just as well for Dundee United. McGinn's okay and ready to take this throw. Hanlon. Doig. Darrell Horgan close to Doig over there, who set up the first 2 goals at Livingston at the weekend.
He's very quickly developed an understanding with Darrell Horgan, both of them down that left-hand side.
Reynolds taking no chances with Nisbet close by. Martin Boyle shows for McGinn. Boyle stepping in again. It will be a free kick.
I think it was Butcher who's clearly agreed with Boyle here, just a burst of pace. He catches Butcher on the back of his heel. Hibs get the benefit of the doubt here, and it's very promising. Neil's got the ability to put this with a bit of pace in the danger area.
Porteous and Hanlon up from the back. Boyle has gone down here. And that will be a concern for Hibs.
It must have been in that incident there. It's almost that he ran into the back of Butcher's heel or studs, possibly.
Martin Boyle,
know if any of these players are carrying an injury.
who scored both goals against Kilmarnock on the opening day.
It was a loose ball, and he certainly just here as he pushes it away, and then as he's running, actually there's no contact, and that's more of a worry. There's no contact at all, and he's got a knee problem. Big concern for Jack Ross.
Huge player for Hibs, who are hoping to hold on to him. It's been a rather start to the match. Might be okay, but he won't play a part in this free kick, although there are plenty of others to aim for here. Newell.
Trying to get a jog on there, trying to shake it off, whatever it is. But still the free kick, promising.
It is Joe Newell to take it, but a bit too much on it, and it's grabbed by Siegrist. Martin Boyle waiting to come back on. He has the signal now. Peter Paulett. Edwards. Here's Luke Bolton. He's already had one run down that side, and he's got another cross in there which cleared a Pere. Trickles off Smaller.
Very encouraging for Mickey Mellon to see Luke Bolton doing that on the right hand side. He's only had a couple of opportunities to get to the byline, and he's got a couple of decent crosses in. Should have been handled a bit better there by Sproul.
Boyle still there, filling his calf as Nicky Clark steps in.
Poor kick from Marciano, didn't give him again a chance.
Connolly. Edwards. Connolly. Butcher. Deutsch trying to set up Horgan, but it is a Hibs throw. Doig will take it. Nisbet the target. Connolly close to him. McGinn. Doig unable to return it to McGinn. Pere now. Porteous giving Doig something to chase.
There was a decent chance on the break for United. Again, had been caught out of position. I think they've started well, Dundee United. They've enjoyed a bit more of the ball. You want to make your mark in the opening period. Mickey Mellon, I think, will be happy with that. They had possession, Dundee United, but the ref was giving them the full.
Paulett, Parks. Reynolds. Pere. That's Gogic stepping in for Hibs. Nisbet towards Boyle. Boyle made room for the cross. Callum Butcher helping out his defence.
I think Boyle fancies it against Worrell, just in a sheer burst of pace over 5-10 yards. I think he's got more explosive start than his opponent.
McGinn. Smaller stepped in. Parks. Edwards. Butcher. Nicky Clark helps it on. Paulett letting go.
All very tight through the middle there for Dundee United.
Doig. Josh Doig. Well, why not, having got himself into that position, but nowhere near its intended target.
Yeah, absolutely. I should have taken the shot on. He earned the right. But it doesn't get any movement in the ball, doesn't get any curl on it. Wants to start it outside the post and bring it back in. But again, just showing what he's capable of when he drifts into the last third.
Pere. Gogic inadvertently helping it on to Harks. Now Luke Bolton. Horgan helping out.
Yeah, there's that understanding. Horgan getting back to help out Doig. 2v1 and they win possession.
McGinn. McGinn. Ryan Porteous for Paul Hanlon. Porteous' error and a yellow card coming the way of Joe Newell.
He's just so late. It's almost a hand of apology here from Newell. Nicky Clark gets it away cleanly.
Twenty minutes played at Tannadice. Connolly to take this free kick. Returned by Butcher. Smaller now. Paulett. Horgan and Boyle have swapped sides for the time being. Horgan digging in here. Deutsch. It will be a free kick for Christian Deutsch.
Well, to be fair to the ref, that's a few times now he's tried to play a bit of advantage, nothing forthcoming, so throws it back for the foul.
Hanlon. Doig. Gogic. Hibs' last top-flight win over Dundee United was way back in 2012 when they actually went top of the table, and now is the first time since then that they've been back at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Hanlon having to deal with that. Perret close by. Dundee United having to cope without the considerable goals of Lawrence Shanklin, but they did just that at Motherwell at the weekend. Harks. That was painful for Josh Doig.
He needs a breather.
Ouch. Harks. Lawrence Shanklin, top scorer in the Championship last season. 48 goals in his last 58 league matches, but that's some actually bettered by Kevin Nisbet, lining up for Hibs today. He's got 51 in 61. Those two boys can score. Nisbet hat-trick hero at Livingston. That was his 19th top-flight match in Scotland and his first goals. 3 came along at once.
Great to see him get a hat-trick. I've got to say, his game outside the box, there's certainly room for improvement there. And he'll take that on board and hopefully become a better player, more effective, not just for himself, but for the team.
Connolly will clear that. Perret, shadowed by Hanlon. Here's Bolton. Here's Harks. Perret again. Peter Paulett. Reynolds. Scooped away by Doig towards Deutsch. Horgan. Newell. McGinn. By Boyle. Horgan into the path of Doig. Horgan wants to hit it against his own arm, which is quite a clever trick.
I've seen Luke Shanley do that in five-a-side, but he's an amateur.
The yellow card coming out here, probably the first of a few this season for Gogic.
Well, he was impressive at the weekend at Livingston. He stopped so many promising attacks, but that one there, it's far too late. Surprised he didn't pull out. He's got the experience.
Yeah, did such a good job for Hamiltonakis, and it will be a similar story at Hibs. The player who certainly makes his presence felt. Peter Paulet over this. Paulet to float it in towards Connolly, but doesn't get that far. Here by Hanlon. Nisbet trying to find a way out here, succeeding, but he's overcooked the pass for Boyle.
Promising to begin with, but the end product, the killer pass, got to take a bit more care.
Powered back by Doig. Reynolds. Porteous let it bounce, but then turned it away from Apere. Boyle clears. Gogic. Doig. Bit crowded out, but he's going to get the free kick.
And he was held back by Paulet. Fall to give away. He was surrounded by tangerine jerseys there.
McGinn. Boyle. In towards Doig, who sets it up here for Horgan. Into the path of Doig. Come off in again.
Doig did really well with the layoff when it comes into the edge of the box. This layoff here, and Horgan looking for his teammate. Doig, and just like 5-10 minutes ago, comes back off him harmlessly for a goal kick. End product, I think, has got to improve.
Nicky Clark, Paulet, Reynolds, seeking out Luke Bolton. Hanlon. Newell. Gogic. Nisbet. Reynolds with the challenge. And again it's going to be brought back. Be surprised if there isn't punishment heading the way of Mark Reynolds here.
Surprised at Mark Reynolds, he's got the experience, he's never going to win the ball. And again, Don Robertson trying to let the advantage go. He's been a bit lenient here, I agree with you, and he's just letting him off with it. Nowhere near the ball.
No card, just a warning.
But Newell had a chance before to get a ball into the box from a similar position. He's really got to give his teammates something to go and attack here.
Newell, change of plan this time. He finds Martin Boyle. Spoiler across to block it, but it is a corner.
Tremendous block at the edge of the box there from Gogic. Allowing Boyle to come round into that space.
Hibs eyeing an opening goal at Tannadice. Everyone making their runs as Horgan takes it, stopped by Apere. McGinn.
Good defending from McGinn. It was a 1v1, had to make sure.
McGinn, who, like his brother, came from St Mirren back in January. Brother John, a Scottish Cup winner with Hibs. Now a fan's favourite at Aston Villa, of course. Such is his way. Dundee United gifted a throw.
Sloppy from Gogic.
Morgan. It's another throw for McGinn.
Be nice to see a bit of goalmouth action, Ian.
Always welcome. Here's Hanlon. Game 4-2-4 for Hibs today for Paul Hanlon. He's just gone into the all-time top 10. Here's McGinn. Martin Boyle screaming for a pass here. He's got it eventually, but he wanted it rather earlier. Josh Doig, though, won't hang around. Doig with a foul.
Excellent from McGinn going forward. I thought he might have had a top-up goal himself. I think he saw Boyle in a better position as he cuts inside here, and then one more. He sees the space that Martin Boyle has. His touch is a poor one, takes him away from goal. He loses his balance. Chance is gone.
Towards Apere, who does flick it on.
Here's a young man who's influencing the game. Look who's had the most touches in the match. And a good few of them are from middle to front.
Right on cue. Here he is. Nisbet is going to be flagged offside. Well, no St Mirren Celtic for you tomorrow, sadly, so we're back on Saturday, 5 o'clock, Sky Sports Football, with Hibs again as they host Motherwell. And then on Sunday, we are with Rangers as they go to Livingston. 3:30 Sky Sports Football on Sunday. Tonight you can tweet us at Scotland Sky and ask James McFadden and Chris Boyd your questions. We'll feature the good ones later. Not sure what we'll do with the bad ones. Butcher. The Hibs were 3-0 up by half-time at Livingston, but not quite so straightforward here at Tannadice. Not many sights of goal at the moment. 3 the team, kept in by Martin Boyle. Gogic. Hanlon. Doig. It's a stray one from Newell.
It's so poor, no wonder Jack Ross is shaking his head there. That's a look you don't want from your manager. 5 minutes and then you're off, if it was Tommy McLean.
And you can hear them pretty well these days also. McGinn. Connolly keeping Nisbet in check. Butcher. Hanlon moved in on Clark. Reynolds. Smaller slipping. Recovering. Paula. Butcher. Hart with a flick. Porteous able to clear it before Clark could control it. Morgan. And that's a Dundee United throw. Secured by Butcher's efforts.
The game needs a bit of imagination.
Yes, it's been nothing like we thought it would be so far. Connolly. Flicked on by Clark.
He's done that a couple of times, Nicky Clark. You don't expect him to win it in the air, but he's flicked it on once or twice already this evening. No takers.
Nicky Clark ended last season full of goals and scored on the opening day a penalty against St Johnstone here. Paulett. Clark. Paul again. Came to meet Swaller. There's a Perry. Might be a side of goal here. Nudged by Porteous brings a handy free kick for Dundee United.
Well, no wonder he's looking at Gogic. It's his poor control on the throw-in. Loses his footing. All of a sudden, United are on the attack. And you saw the right arm coming out there from Porteous.
That's an opportunity for newly promoted Dundee United. Fear Marciano in the firing line, the Israeli keeper, who of course could be playing for his country against Scotland about 15 times over the next few months. Nations due to meet in the Nations League as well as that Euro playoff. In Hearts, Nicky Clark, Peter Paulett having a wee chat.
Shot at goal.
It is Nicky Clark, and the deflection took it just over.
Deflection took it away from Marciano, but thankfully for Hibs and Marciano, just too much height on it. He was committed to moving across to his right, the goalkeeper.
Peter Paulett will take the corner. Paulett delivers. Connolly trying to get there. We're certainly paying close attention to him.
attack United. There was a bit of a nick from Deutsch.
Hart's throw. Perret. Away by Horgan.
They need to do better with these throw-ins in the corner. Get it back to the thrower somehow. Get some delivery into the box.
Butcher gets a second go here. Clark, Paulett. That's another free kick foul by Newell.
Well, it's not a yellow card from Newell, but it's another foul from him. He is on a yellow. He needs to be so careful. You can see him here, committed to the challenge. Sometimes you've got to realise you're not going to win it.
It'll be Peter Paulett's turn now. And will Nicky Clark have another go? Clark placing it again. Last one diverted off the wall. Where is this one going? From Nicky Clark. It's over. And out.
Poor attempt. Nowhere near the target. He knows it. By all means, have a proper goal, but there's a level of concentration you need to have to work the goalkeeper.
Nicky Mellon, who was born in Paisley and grew up in Glasgow, but never played or managed in Scotland until now. He's made it at last. His actual managerial record is outstanding. A festival of promotions, including back-to-back with Tranmere, of course, who were relegated last season on the points per game, having won promotion from the National League right through to League One. It was quite a ride, but he felt it was time for change. And unlucky to be relegated, to be fair, but a few have those stories to tell. Boyle will turn that away.
Well, again, it was a good opportunity. Paulett saw all the space for Sporrell to go into, just not heavy enough with the pass.
There may be a fair bit of stoppage time in this first half, with the collision between Robson and McGinn, which led to Robson going off. Boyle needing some treatment later as well. Christian Deutsch putting himself about. Paulett. Another free kick. We've heard that whistle a bit in this first half, but he has tried to let it go.
Yeah, he has. You can ask for more than that.
Connolly. Butcher. Gogic. Nisbet. Boyle close by. Nisbet. Oh, went round Connolly, right on the edge of the area, that, and a yellow card for Connolly.
Well, there's the imagination and the little spark we've been looking for. Gogic at his best, setting Nisbet away, and look at this for a nutmeg. He absolutely knew he was done there. No complaints from Connolly about the yellow card. But much better from Gogic, reading the forward pass, stepping into it, and putting Hibs on the attack.
Gogic among those waiting for this free kick. There will be 4 minutes added on at the end of this first half. This will be a good time to score as Joe Newell does send the free kick in. It'll be retrieved by Daryl Horgan. Back in by Horgan, away by Butcher. So, still 4 minutes remain in the first half. Pere. Paula. Reynolds.
Should have realised there was no one around him there, Ryan Porteous.
Hawks grabbing hold of Horgan.
Well, this is the best bit of skill in the match. Nisbet right through the legs of Conley. And Conley is cynical as they come again. Doesn't make the fill inside the box, makes sure it's outside, picks up the yellow. That is not the type of action we want to see from goalkeepers, punting it from one end to the other. We want to see them making saves.
McGinn. Paula. McGinn. Boyle. Reynolds. Connolly for Reynolds. Porteous in front of a Pere. Paula. Butcher gave it away to Nisbet. Can Hibs end the half on a high? Martin Boyle. There's a few to pick out here, including Nisbet.
That's what he's got to improve in. His game outside the box, it's got to be tighter.
Gogic won it back though. Horgan. Peter Paula had to get back to intervene just in case.
Yeah, I like this cross from Horgan on his left foot. He knows exactly where he's playing it, and look at the options he's got. 4 teammates, almost all of them inside the 6-yard box.
Final minute of the first half. Will someone step forward here for Hibs? Joe Newell's corner. Deutsch trying to get near it. Horgan. Horgan sends one whistling wide.
And he generates all the power, Horgan. The referee doing his best to get in the way here. Got a yard of space, but nowhere near the target. Mickey Mellon will be happy enough with the way his team started the game, but I don't think he wants to be one of those promoted sides that just come up and escape relegation. I think he wants them challenging in the top 6.
Yeah, it's a game that hasn't quite taken off yet. Both managers might be looking for a bit more from their team. And it's a game that is requiring some sort of spark from somewhere. Will it come in the second half? Because at half-time at Tannadice it is Dundee United 0, Hibs 0.
We'll stay right up to date with everything Spanish Grand Prix related this weekend right here on Sky Sports. On Friday, practice gets underway from 9:30 in the morning. Qualifying is on Saturday. Coverage starts at 1, and then on Sunday it's race day. Join the team from 12:30, all on Sky Sports F1. Well, here at Tannadice, it hasn't quite been the goal fest that we perhaps built up to. Could the spark come from one of the substitutes on the bench? We will see very shortly. The second half kicks off next. Come join us. Well, almost ready for kick-off, but Chris, was there a potential penalty for Hibs in that first half?
I think there could have been. You know, I think you always run the risk when you can see here Matt Conley wants to get involved in it. I think you run the risk, James.
Yeah.
You know, when you get that tight and your hands come up, it could have been. But I'm sure it'll be one of the things that Don Robertson keeps an eye on in the second half, because when you grab and you get in the box, you know, you don't really want to be doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, he certainly asked the question. We heard him in this quiet stadium, but the teams are back out on the pitch, so let's get back to your commentary team. Andy Walker alongside Ian Crocker.
Yes, we're ready to go with the second half at Tannadice. First half that brought little in the way of goalmouth action, but no two halves are ever the same, for sure. Dundee United back in the top flight after a 4-year absence will get us going here. Callum Butcher immediately sending this towards Luke Bolton. Deutsch. Both teams might be looking for a little bit more in this second half. Luke Bolton, certainly capable of providing some service on loan from Manchester City, but Joe Newell stepped in. However, it will be a corner.
Looked as though he had the making there of Bolton as he got to the byline, but he just let it drift past. United on the attack with the corner.
The three centre-halves all up. Paulin it is who sends it. Edwards not allowed to get near it by Hanlon, but here's Connolly trying to keep it going, and Porteous had to time that right. Jack Ross did so well at Alloa, St Mirren. They were unlucky at Sunderland, really. Got to a playoff final and then was sacked whilst they were 6th in League One. But the following month, he turned up at Hibs. Looks like that will be a good thing for them. Spoiler turned away by Boyle. Dundee United lost Jamie Robson early in the game after a collision with Paul McGinn. Spoiler his replacement, helped on by a Pere. And Luke Bolton unable to steer it goalwards.
Bolton does well just to be in that position. He's playing as a wing back, and he sees the opportunity to go and lend his support in the box. And as it's helped on here, you can see him just trying to get in the danger area, has to come back slightly to try and get it on target.
Pere. Paulett.
Oh, give away from Paulett.
Deutsch. It's Nisbet. It's blocked by Edwards. Doig.
Well, there was no pressure on Paulett there in the middle of the park, and he's just so loose with that pass. And all of a sudden they're right on the attack. Deutsch didn't want to have a go himself, and Nisbet Gets his shot away. There's a block in from Edwards.
Ryan Edwards making his debut for Dundee United after arriving on a free from Blackpool, a player that Mickey Mellon has tracked for a while. Back-to-back promotions with Tranmere. He took Fleetwood from the Conference North into the Football League, also won promotion in his time at Shrewsbury. And Dundee United had already just won promotion when he came in. Robbie Nielsen leaving to return to Hearts, so he doesn't have to do that job again. Harks. Connolly. Perry. Hanlon on his case. Harks. Bolton. Newell doubling up, but Bolton's still got some sort of crossing, which was met by Hanlon.
Yeah, I think that's the one aspect of the game that has to be improved by both sides. The end product, just the cross into the box at both ends of the pitch, just has to be better.
Nicky Clark. Harks. Grappling with Newell. Goal kick. Ian Harks, whose granddad was actually born in Dundee and used to support Dundee United. His dad John played in England for a few clubs, including Sheffield Wednesday or West Ham.
Chasing this, Nisbet. His toes right to his head.
Porteous made that his. Deutsch. Reynolds a little unsure with Siegrist, and he knew that Nisbet was breathing down the back of his shirt.
Siegrist has got to either win it, be committed, or he takes a good few steps back, because it was always going to be Reynolds' ball.
Again for Horgan. Paulett to bring it away. Others are catching up. Perry is over there with Spurler. Perry's cross, Nicky Clark trying to get there, but Paul Hanlon across for Hibs.
Now look at Siegrist here, as this ball's played forward. It's always going to be Reynolds' ball. Take a good step back and let him pass it to you.
Paulett. Butcher. Connolly. Harks. Sliding it through here. Oh, it's offside against Spurler. Put away by Apere, but the flag was up.
Well, it was tight. The ball from Connolly was a good one into Harks, and then as he plays it forward, it's a really good call. was offside. There's no need. Composure and stay onside.
Hooked on by Nisbet. Scott Allen is getting ready for Hibs. Started his career here at Tannadice. Didn't play too often for Dundee United before his move to West Brom. He could provide a much-needed spark.
Well, we all know what he's capable of. His passing can be excellent. There's another loose one from Sporle. Get Scott Allen on, middle of the park. As long as you get runners, he'll be able to find you.
We think he's going to replace Daryl Horgan shortly. Steered away by Edwards. Josh Doig picks out Nisbet. Boyle. Newell. Hanlon. Newell. Boyle. Gogic for Hanlon. Hanlon's cross. Doig.
No power in it whatsoever from Doig. It's a decent ball from Hanlon.
Scott Allen waiting in the wings to face his former club. There's Ryan Edwards. That change will happen now. Daryl Horgan, who set up the first 2 goals at the weekend, is going to be replaced here. Jack Ross not waiting too long into this second half to bring on a man who might just make things happen in Scott Allen, back where it all began for him.
A bit surprised Horgan's gone off. I thought it might have been Newell. But I think it is a positive to get Scott Allen on the pitch. He's got a bit of craft and guile, certainly got a bit of imagination.
So has Luke Bolton, making his way through. Harks! Drills it wide.
Best chance of the game, Ian. And well done to Luke Bolton for the set-up, because he's positive. He goes past Doig on the inside, and then it's a cut back. He's got plenty of space. He's got no composure to guide it towards the target. It's nowhere near it. He knows that's a big opportunity.
Again. Boyle. Allen. McGinn. Made by Reynolds. Barre. Dundee United actually unbeaten in their last 6 top-flight meetings with Hibs. Martin Boyle racing away here though. He delivered the cross, and Josh Doig and Luke Bolton together, and Bolton able to steer it away.
Really good cross from Martin Boyle on the run. It's a deep one, and Bolton did well just to complete the clearance.
Doig's throw, met by Edwards. McGinn. Scott Allen. Nisbet. Paulett puts it behind for a corner.
I like to disguise on the pass there from McGinn into the feet of Scott Allen. I was absolutely convinced Allen would have taken a touch and had a pop at goal. I think he had enough space. Look at the disguise here from McGinn. One touch to control and then a shot away. Elected for the first time lay off Scott Allen.
O'Neill then to float this corner in. Hanlon. Siegrist able to collect it.
It's a decent ball into the box. It's a lot of grappling going on inside that 6-yard area. Hanlon does well just to keep that ball alive. I think it's a pretty simple one for the keeper to take cleanly.
Gogic away to Doig. Newell. McGinn. Held up by Nicky Clark.
Nicky Clark doing a lot of defensive work there.
Newell, Doig, Allen.
Throw-ins in that area of the pitch. You've just got to keep possession, be patient, and then be able to play the forward pass.
An hour played at Tannadice, and the search for a goal goes on. Hanlon. Edwards. Perret. Clark. Away by Portis. Doig conceding the free kick. Catching Edwards.
He might be holding his hamstring here, just in that of going for that ball, Edwards. Grimacing. Left hamstring.
McGinn. Connolly quickly upon Nisbet. Gogic. So strong. Scott Allen. Boyle. Boyle has done really well here. And Nisbet trying to force it in. Doig was there too, but credit to Mark Connolly for the clearance. Doig has pinched it here from Harks. And Paulett got there ahead of Gogic.
Well, Hibs come to life through Martin Boyle. What a set-up that was for his teammates.
Perret. Butcher. Spell it out.
Anyone who can take you from 30, 40 yards out to the byline, as Boyle does here. And then creates an opportunity, I think, for Nisbet, and he's on the stretch. He can't get it away from the keeper, Seacrest.
Paula. Martin Boyle doing what he does. McGinn. Boyle. Gogic. Doig. Deutsch takes over! And that's a fine finish! Hibs are ahead! And it looks like their excellent start of the season might just continue with maximum points.
Well, it's a goal out of nothing, but it's a fine finish from Deutsch. Gogic just plays a harmless ball into the box, and as it breaks loose, Doig wants to have a shot initially, but it falls for his teammate Doig, and look at the finish here on the left foot. Doesn't even look at the goals. He takes a touch, realises where he is. Mark Reynolds can't get the block in, and he's already on the way down, the keeper, Seacrest.
If Doig doesn't get you, Doig will. He scored a hat-trick in the Scottish Cup against Dundee United last season in the replay, and a goal in the first tie here. So that's 5 in 3 games against Dundee United for Christian Doig. Here he is again. Joe Newell. Dundee United are going to bring on one of their young players, Lewis Nielsen, shortly. Ryan Edwards is definitely feeling that hamstring. He's going to be replaced. Kept in by Doig. Looking for Deutsch.
Well, Ryan Edwards has gone down in the corner with that injury you were speaking about, Ian, his hamstring. I just wonder whether it affected him in the goal. Was he unable to get a block in?
It is game over for Ryan Edwards. He will be replaced here.
Well, is Doig offside as this ball is played forward? There's a touch, there's definitely a touch from Nisbet. I think his left leg would be offside. I don't have VAR, it's one for them. But you've got to credit the finish from Doig. He knew exactly where he was, it was a tight angle. Maybe look at the goalkeeper to stand tall there.
So Ryan Edwards' Dundee United debut comes to an early end with a hamstring issue by the look of it. And he's replaced by Lewis Nielsen, who actually started the opening game of the season here against St Johnstone. He only turned 17 in May. He's going to get a quarter of this game as well.
Mickey Mellon has spoken highly of the amount of young players he has at his disposal here at Tannadice. Speaks of the long history of bringing through young players, giving them a chance. Great opportunity for Nielsen.
How will Dundee United respond to going behind? Goal that they might well question after, with a strong possibility of offside, but they've got to get on with it here. That's what they're trying to do. Allen. Hibs have something to hold on to here, or add to. 4 goals at Livingston at the weekend, 2 against Kilmarnock on the opening day. Marciano will launch this towards Doige. Boyle. Boyle looking for Doige. Here's Doig. Luke Bolton has to put it away for a throw.
Doig getting up in support again, just keeping the pressure on. Hibs looking for the second goal.
Josh Doig, who was on loan at Queen's Park last season. Doig. Paul Hanlon. Boyle can't get to it. Nisbet.
A shot on target from Nisbet, but not his best effort. A comfortable save from Seacrest.
Here's young Nelson. Reynolds. Perret. Minutes for Dundee United to save their day here. Ricky Mellon, so successful with his English clubs. Promotions galore.
There's the man who made the breakthrough. Look at Edwards there. He's already carrying a hamstring. He's already feeling it with his left hand. I think as Doige takes a touch here, if he was 100% fit, I think he would have made a better challenge sliding across.
Doig was compared to Andy Robinson, another former Queen's Park player, when he was on loan there last season. No pressure. Dundee United going to bring on Logan Chalmers, who started the match at Motherwell. Harks. Chases on. Smaller and Boyle. Boyle standing firm under pressure, but may need some assistance here. He's lost it, as it turned out. Paul McGinn to his aid.
Well, he did well, Boyle, just to get there. Again, eventually getting back to try and help him out. Boyle's pace just took him into that right back area.
No St Mirren Celtic tomorrow, alas. We are back on Saturday, Hibernian Motherwell from 5 o'clock on Sky Sports Football. And on Sunday, it's Livingston against Rangers. That's from 3:30 on Sky Sports Football. You can tweet us at Scotland Sky with your questions for James McFadden and Chris Boyd. Well, they are going to bring on Logan Chalmers, but it's a double change. Cammy Smith also coming on. Luke Bolton is replaced by Logan Chalmers. And Louis Perret will be replaced by Cammy Smith, who has now come on as a sub in the first 3 games, former Aberdeen player.
It's actually Nicky Clark who's gone off.
Nicky Clark replaced. I put the wrong number up there. Can't have been my fault anyway.
Well, I saw what you saw, Perry going off, then he came back on.
Yes, I think 27 was on the board. Connolly meets that, sent back by Gogic, away by Reynolds. Hanlon returns it, should be a shout from the keeper. Confirmation there of the double change. Harks. Porteous dealing with the Perret.
Perry's first touch has to be better. That was secure and into his body. It was a 1v1.
Connolly. Butcher now for Nielsen. Nielsen making up good ground here. Porteous screened the cross. Ian Harks sending it straight at Marciano.
Extraordinary choice of shot there. Side of the foot, it was almost like a pass back. Surely he's got to try and generate a bit of power.
Quarter of an hour to go at Tannadice. That shot from Harks was Dundee United's first effort on target, and Perret looking for a quick second. Harks again. Butcher. Peter Paulett trying to weave his way through and blocked off by Joe Newell. Free kick right on the edge.
Look, to be fair to Newell, I don't think he can get out of the way of this. Paulett's feet are so quick and then he knocks it through his legs. He just stands there, can't possibly get out of the way. Both of them clash heads.
Peter Paulett, who was a young player at Aberdeen. Treatment here for Joe Newell, but a free kick that will certainly give Dundee United some hope.
Might need to make a change here.
Melker Hallberg, the Swede, who came on in the first two games as a sub, is going to continue in that vein. Looks like he has a cut.
We made a couple of free kicks in the first half. Nicky Clark took them. A deflection with one and a poor attempt with the other. Very worst here. Try and work the goalkeeper.
So Joe Newell will be replaced here by Melker Hallberg. Slow walk off for Newell. In comes Hallberg, and Dundee United hoping for something from this free kick, which Harks, Paulett and Chalmers surround. Dundee United are a team in need. Will it happen here for Logan Chalmers? It came off the wall, came off Kevin Nisbet in fact, but it will give Dundee United a corner.
I'm not convinced it was going on target. It certainly gave it some leather, but still on the attack with the corner.
It's Peter Paulett's corner. Marciano gets something on it. Harks first to it. Blocked by Hallberg. Cammy Smith. Gogic away, but only to Harks. And he had his shirt tugged by Hallberg.
These are silly fouls to give away just outside the box. Paulett's got a chance here to get a really good delivery in.
Yes, Dundee United have been given another opportunity here to grab an equaliser. Chalmers. Martin Boyle is tripped by Chalmers, and that's going to be a yellow card.
He's got to do better from the free kick, Chalmers. There was a poor delivery, and then again it was Boyle's pace, a loose ball, and he's onto it first. Chalmers brings him down.
Heading towards the final 10 minutes. Hanlon. Connolly fending off Doige. Hanlon takes over from Gogic. And Doig will take this throw. Hibs last won their first 3 games in the top flight back in 1974 under Eddie Turnbull, and they finished second that season. Just saying. Scott Allen pinched by Harks. Reynolds. Harks. Cammy Smith. Perret. Callum Butcher is going to have a go. It's diverted for a corner. Dundee United are having a go in their quest for an equaliser.
Well, he was always going to have a shot here, Butcher, but look at Gogic. He realises he's got to get a block in. He's on the stretch, but just does enough to turn it around.
Peter Paulett's corner, Marciano couldn't get to it. Porteous dug it out and away for another corner.
Desperate stuff at the back post that could have fallen anywhere. Eventually, even as he's on the ground, Porteous just puts it behind.
Peter Paulett will try again with this corner. Connolly got to it. Hands on head.
Well, he had to go for it, Conley. It's easy for us up here to see Reynolds just behind him, no one marking him. Had he left it, big chance for Reynolds.
Jack Ross still on course for 9 points out of 9. Rangers and Ross County also have maximum points so far. Ross County home to Kilmarnock tomorrow, Rangers home to St Johnstone. Paulett. Reynolds. Paulett. Reynolds, Perret. Peter Paulett with a great chance to equalise.
Well, he's inside the box, and the layoff from Perry is perfect. It comes to his chest. He's done this before in the match, and he snatches at it. When you're looking for Pollock to show a bit of composure, I know it's taking its time to come down. It comes way off the side of his foot, nowhere near the target.
One that got away from Peter Pollitt. Gogic. Tripped by Pollitt.
It's a good bit of experience that Hibs have in the middle of the park now, just to go the last, 10 minutes or so possibly. Gogic trying to break things up, trying to keep his team on the attack. Simple passing.
Porteous towards Deutsch. Nisbet! Flag was up for offside, it wouldn't have counted anyway.
As you say, the flag was up so sharp, so quickly, as this is flicked on. Nisbet is already in an offside position. Much easier decision for the far side assistant there.
Scott Allen, he'll get a free kick. Callum Butcher the offender that time.
Right behind it, and he saw the tug of the jersey from Butcher. No idea what he's complaining about. You can see here as Allen steps onto it, severely held back by that tug there from Butcher. Clear foul.
Hannon. Holberg over towards Boyle. Awkward fall there for Martin Boyle, and he's stayed down. There's been several stoppages throughout the course of this match.
I think he's got something. Has he been winded here? Oh, he had a problem with his knee or his calf. Just as he went down there, seemed to be in his midriff. Thankfully he's okay, he's up and away.
Home to Motherwell next, and then away to St Johnstone. We're going to be following them for a while. Next 4 games. Spurler won it back. Pollitt.
Again, that's when Nisbet has to improve. He's got the ball there, gives it away needlessly.
Lewis Nielsen. Butcher. Deutsch moved in on him. Holberg now for Josh Doig, taking on Logan Chalmers. Hibs throw.
Excellent from Doig, good strength. Just gets his body in the way of the opponent and the ball. Settles for the throw in, just lets everyone get a breather.
He wasn't Hearts, but he's now at Hibs, Josh Doig, and certainly making the most of the opportunity given to him from the start of this season at left back, ahead of the long-serving Lewis Stevenson. Cammy Smith.
No room to turn on his right hand side there from Cammy Smith.
Time running out for Mickey Mellon. Connolly. Harks. A free kick for Dundee United.
Silly foul from Hanlon.
Harks. Away by Porteous. Butcher. Harks. Apere. And it's a corner. Hibs see this out, or will Dundee United have a late say? Peter Paulett ready to take the corner. Paulett takes over the head of Connolly. Paulett again. Nisbet actually stepped in to clear that, but here's Reynolds. A minute left of the 90, plus whatever will be added on at Tannadice. The more minutes the merrier from Dundee United's point of view as they look to salvage a point. Deutsch. It's a foul by Smith.
Well, Conley was looking for a little bit of a push here, just as you see him around the penalty area. Not a great deal in it, I've got to say.
There will be 4 minutes added on at Tannadice. Hibs on the brink of 3 wins out of 3 to start their Scottish Premiership season. Nisbet. Last season, Hibs conceded 4 goals in stoppage time. Encouragement for Dundee United, but not as long as the ball is in this half of the field.
There's only one stat you want to get rid of.
Clipped by Nisbet there, free kick. Connolly. Towards the Perret. Hanlon has his eye on this too, but a Perret won it. Cammy Smith. Cleared by Porteous. Peter Paulett, unable to progress.
Great ball into him from Butcher, played in at pace, and Paulett should have done better. He's got to take a much better first touch. Look at the pace Butcher plays this pass into. He's asking an awful lot to turn into one movement there.
Hibs had an awful start to last season, of course, which meant the end for Paul Higginbottom and the arrival of Jack Ross.
Well, yet again, Reynolds not trusting his goalkeeper and just takes responsibility.
Connolly launching it. Hit and hope time for Dundee United. Scott Allen. Brief respite for Hibs, halfway through stoppage time. Bumped on by Cammy Smith, but nothing happening.
Well, you can't ask for a more impressive start to the season than this. If Hibs see this out, 3 games, 3 wins. Perfect start for Jack Ross.
Offside against Kevin Nisbet.
And important to note, it's 2 away victories on the spin. I was there at Livingston on Saturday, thoroughly deserved it. And I think they've just about edged it tonight too.
Porteous sends that away. Knocked on by Boyle. Retrieved here by Reynolds. A minute left. Harks rises with Hanlon. If it's going to happen for Dundee United, it's got to happen right here, right now. The seconds tick away. Chalmers will get a cross in here. Came off Hanlon, gathered by Marciano, who will be in no rush. Hibs so close to 100% start to the new Scottish season. John Robinson will, in fact, he's blown the full-time whistle anyway, having got himself in the way of that. And it is maximum points for Jack Ross, the first Hibs manager to win their first 3 top-flight matches since Eddie Turnbull back in 1974. Christian Doidge, who scored 4 times against Dundee United in the Scottish Cup last season, popped up with another excellent finish. Dundee United may claim an offside though in the build-up for Josh Doig, but they were unable to come up with an answer to Doidge's strike.
A bit of momentum, a bit of consistency. 2 difficult away venues at Livingston and at Tannadice, and they've come away with 6 points to build on the 3 they got at home to Kilmarnock. It's perfect for Hibs. Can't ask for anything more. They can only throw away this Champions League spot now.
Yeah, it's not quite glory for the Hibees yet, but this is a really promising start for Jack Ross's side. They look like they have something about them. No wonder they're smiling. A 100% start to the Scottish Premiership season. It ends at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, Hibs 1.
And big hugs from head coach Jack Ross for Christian Doidge, the man who sealed the points. It perhaps wasn't their best performance of their 3 wins so far, but it's 3 very valuable points on the roads. And there they are, flying high, out in front, 3 wins from 3. Jack Ross, the first manager since Eddie Turnbull to win their first 3 matches in charge. Dundee United stay on 4 points after falling to their first defeat of the season. Well, Rangers and Ross County will have a chance to join Hibs at the top tomorrow when they get underway with more football, but there's plenty more sport to keep you engaged this week on Sky Sports. On Thursday, the second test between England and Pakistan gets underway. It's live on Sky Sports Cricket from 10:30 in the morning. And Friday night is fight night. Felix Cash takes on Jason Welborn for the Commonwealth middleweight title. Sky Sports Action from 7 o'clock. And starring Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black and Karen Gillan, the gang return to the jungle 3 years later for another adventure. Jumanji, The Next Level, is available on Friday on Sky Cinema. Well, we did get a winner. Chris Boyd and James McFadden will be with me to talk over the match tonight. So stay with us. We'll also hear from both camps coming next.
Doig takes over, and that's a fine finish. Hibs are ahead, and it looks like their excellent start to the season might just continue with maximum points.
Well, it was Hibs with the only goal of the evening. Pretty even between the two throughout the 90 minutes. Just 4 shots on target between the two of them. But from a Hibs point of view, it was one of those that went in. And it was Christian Doidge who sealed all 3 points. Well, Chris Boyd and James McFadden alongside me to talk over that one. And perhaps wasn't the free-flowing football we might have been building up to, but a hugely important 3 points for Hibs.
No, it certainly wasn't a classic in terms of performance, but yeah, as you say, a brilliant win for Hibs. I think a draw would have been a fair result in the balance of play, but you've got to give credit to Hibs. They stick at it, they change shape because they weren't getting too much joy in the first half. And Doidge, he looks like a striker that's, you know, high in confidence. I think you said yourself, you know, he just takes it. He doesn't think about it. He just goes for it.
Well, let's hear from him. He's with Luke. Yeah, a very happy Christian Doidge, and it is a very happy Hibs camp, but it was his goal that sealed all 3 points. It was proper striker's instinct, that one.
It definitely was, and I think when we see it here as well, he's anticipating that it's going to bounce around and he gets on the end of it. But the thing for me is that there are times for strikers where you place things, and there's times where you just beat a laces through it, and this was one, just beat a laces through it and hope for the best. As I said here, when it starts to bobble about, you touch out your feet and bang, there it goes. Hit the target, bit of pace in it, and the goalkeeper's absolutely no chance. The good thing, he's always on the move. Maybe a touch of offside there. I don't think it would have been allowed in England. VAR would have ruled it off, but we've not got that up here. We've not got the money, same as down the road. But you can see here, as a striker, anticipating it on the end of there, this little nice touch there to open up the goal.
It's a great touch, innit? It takes him away from the defenders.
But see, the good thing is, James, when you look at this here, he doesn't even need to look at the goal. He knows where they are. The goals don't move. He knows exactly where they are. Foot through it, laces through it, bang, in the back of the net, and it's another winning goal for Christian Doidge. And I thought his all-round performance tonight, he's going to go and challenge. Maybe the balls in the box could have been delivered with a little bit of quality to allow him to go and do what he does. But all good strikers do. They find themselves with that one opportunity and they take it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk one opportunity and he took it. He did have maybe a half opportunity just before he scored the goal. And I think both of you were just saying, hit it.
Well, I think as soon as it happened here, he's in a great position as a striker, to cut that out there. But as soon as he gets here, just here, move it and hit it with your left foot. It's not the greatest of passes either, but I think
too indecisive for me.
If he just had moved it and hit it with his left foot, as James says, he probably is a little bit indecisive, but it didn't really faze him because he missed that. You could maybe, with a lot of confidence, there's the rain coming now as well.
I know, it's absolutely chucking it down here.
But he kept on going, and as I said, deserved his man of the match, and obviously his winning goal.
Yeah, and I suppose that is the sign of a striker in confidence, but a good striker as well. You forget the misses, you forget the moments where you maybe didn't take the right opportunity, and you make up for it just moments later.
Yeah, listen, the way he put himself about, he won his headers, he was a nuisance all game, and if you work hard you'll get your opportunities. I thought the chance it showed there, Chris is right, just move it and get a shot on target, but he's trying to play his strike partner and they are trying to build a partnership, and you can understand why he's played it, because Nisbet's on fire, he's wanting to get his partner a goal. That's the type of striker he is, and then when the chance comes for him, there's no doubt he just makes good contact and it's a brilliant finish.
Yeah, I have to say, I've been getting a little bit of stick on Twitter for wearing a coat tonight. I think I'm the one smiling and laughing right now because it's absolutely chucking it down in here. There was a potential shout. Well, Christian Doidge certainly asked the referee whether he should or could have had a penalty right at the end of the first half. What's your take on this one?
Listen, Mark Connolly's searching him out. You can see, and he wraps two arms round him, blocks Doidge's run. Again, what Chris said, if it's in England with VAR, then I think it's a penalty kick. So Dundee United get away with one there. But that shows you the threat. He's looking for him. Where is he? I know he's a threat. I need to go and try and mark him. And I think Hibs are unfortunate not to get a penalty.
If there's one little criticism, and I don't want to say because it's been a good night for him, if there's one little criticism, I always think he seems to get himself to the other side of the defender. When he comes away from it, gives him an opportunity to get back across him. Maybe that's something he could add to his game and get across him and maybe get ahead of the defenders. But in terms of goal scoring, I was one of the ones that had more or less wrote him off at the start of last season. But I tell you what, he's rammed those words back down my throat. And I'm delighted for him because as a striker, when you go through spells and you're not scoring goals, you start to your confidence will go. But I tell you what, he looks like a totally different player now. He's getting himself in the positions. He's shown he'll score goals. But the good thing, or the pleasing thing for me tonight, was that there are strikers where you just pass things in the net. There's times where you'll just blast them in the net. That was one there where you just put a foot right through it, and that's exactly what he done.
Yeah, well, he got a special congratulations and thanks, I think, from manager Jack Ross. Let's hear from him now. He's with Luke.
Jack, Hibs singing in the rain tonight. How happy are you with that?
Yeah, really pleased. We a really tough match for us. We expected it, and didn't play with the fluidity we did at the weekend, but found a way to win the game, and so exceptionally pleased with the start of the season we've had.
In terms of the change at half-time, how beneficial was that in terms of the shape?
Yeah, I think it helped us. We've done a lot of work pre-season on playing and flitting between a 3 and a 4, and we've done it through the early fixtures, and we felt as if the first half it was causing a little bit difficult in the middle of the pitch, and we simplified it but making it a match up, and we're comfortable doing it because of the personnel, and they're used to doing it pre-season and in the early games. So I think it helped us. I think we had more control in the second half. We'd like to still use the ball better, but I think ultimately that helped us win the game.
Kevin Nisbet got the headlines at the weekend. Christian Doidge gets the winner tonight. Just how pleased are you with that pairing that's coming up, or if one doesn't score, the other does?
Well, it's a great start for the two of them. You know, the fact that they've scored 5 goals between them and the only 2 fixtures they've played together as a pair is hugely encouraging. I was a bit critical of them at half time. I didn't think they worked the back three Dundee United hard enough, but equally I was as critical of us not playing forward enough. So I think the change of shape again benefited those two, and Christian is a brilliant asset to me. He's so unselfish in his work, and his goal scoring record, stretching back to last season now is outstanding.
Just finally, Hibs fans will be delighted now with the momentum that's been building. How key is that going into the next run of games?
Well, we wanted to try and do that. We looked at the early fixtures, and I think I mentioned this last week, we set our own internal targets, and we thought they were achievable, and we're well on our way to doing that, and we've just got to keep growing it and building that momentum, and also recognising the things that we need to keep improving upon. But it's a fantastic start for us.
Well done tonight. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks, Luke.
Well, we spoke about it pre-match. Jack Ross mentioned it there, and we got a perfect example of it tonight, how he can utilise that bench, change the shape, bring players on that will play different roles.
Yeah, listen, we were saying at half time, the first half they didn't have that link player, and it's not always that everything needs to go through that player, but the fact that they're in an area where someone has to pick him up, whether it's Butcher that has to step back or one of the centre backs needs to step out of their position, it's just another problem. Martin Boyle covering the right hand side and young Josh Doig covering the left hand side allows the strikers to worry about the back three then and work them a bit more. They had to do it, they had to make a change because they weren't getting enough build up play, and they got the rewards from it.
It makes them a difficult team to prepare for, because they're going to be able to go to grounds with a couple of different game plans, depending on who they're playing.
They can adapt in games as well. We've seen here tonight that the way they set out, 4-4-2, 4-2-4 strikers basically at one point, that wasn't working. And as James said, we touched on it at half time in terms of that big area it was in between Dundee United's midfield and their defence. If somebody could come on and link it, and James is 100% right, you don't need to get on the ball all the time, but it might be a defender then starts to come out and you can then create spaces for wee balls down the side as your strikers, and you could argue the goal, maybe the centre defenders of Dundee United have started to maybe get engaged in other things, and as I said, it breaks and it's tucked away beautifully.
Yeah, well, it is Hibernian who leave here with all 3 points. A first defeat for Mickey Mellon as Dundee United manager, and a first defeat for United since their return to the top flight. We'll get the thoughts of the United manager after this short break. Stay with us. So it was a first defeat of the season for Dundee United. Let's get the thoughts of their manager. Mickey Mellon is with Luke.
Mickey, what was your assessment on tonight's match?
I'm frustrated now because it was a game of very few chances. First half we needed to be a wee bit maybe better in the final third with the ball, or when we were coming out with the overloads that we were creating at the back, show a wee bit more quality when it was going in. But the second half we did that much better. I think but for a wee spell around about when they get their goal, I think that we did everything that I would have asked them to do, apart from maybe being a wee bit more aggressive when the ball did come into the dangerous areas. But listen, it's a step up for us. We're matching that step up now, and at times tonight looked a decent side. But we have to be better in the final third, and when they little half chances come, their chances in tight games like this, you must take them.
Do you learn a bit more about your team in defeat, because this is the first defeat under you?
No, I'm learning all the time. You learn winning and losing, drawing. You learn all the time. No, I learned tonight that we were well in a game. It was a very, very tight game. We made a little bit of a mistake where the lads got a bit of a touch just as we're going to go and clear our lines, and the lad Doidge is tucked it away. That was possibly the difference between the two teams.
Just finally, how's Jamie Robson?
He's obviously took a bit of a head knock. I mean, listen, how's he been booked for that? I mean, that's a ridiculous decision. Come on. I mean, was he going to go and knock himself out, go for a header? There was not. The two of them go for a good, honest challenge, and come on, he gets booked for that. But he'll be okay. We've got good medical people here, and we'll make sure that he's okay.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah, it was a horrendous clash of heads, and we do wish Jamie Robson all the best in his recovery from that. But when it comes to his assessment of the matches, it's probably pretty fair, pretty accurate. Just one shot on target. They needed to be a little bit more clinical and perhaps a little bit of a better delivery in that final third.
Yeah, they did. I think that, you know, their shape, their organisation was good, but when they get in the areas to maybe pull the trigger, get a shot away, hit the target, you know, ask questions of the goalkeeper. They did have good build-up. You can hear Mickey Mellon at the side as well, you know, encouraging all the time. This is a brilliant chance for me. He's got to work the goalkeeper, hit the target. He goes with the side foot, which is always going to go away from goal. But I felt as though they did have half-decent chances in the game, but, you know, that bit of quality, as Mickey Mellon said, was just lacking.
I think, as James says it as well, the one from the edge of the box, they'll just be a foot through it. This one, it takes ages to come down. They're the world's worst when you're waiting it coming down, and then you know, I think it's Halberg that gets back in there as well. But they are, when it's coming out the air and you're waiting it coming down, you're like, come on, and it just didn't come. So I mean, it wasn't to be Dundee United's night in front of goal, but you know, I think Mickey Mellon will be pleased overall. I mean, he's touched on it there, that it is a step up. He's missing arguably the best player in Lawrence Shanklin. Will he make them a better team? Of course he will. And you know, if he gets him back in, I think they go to Ross County the weekend as well. They'll be looking to say, right, can we go there and maybe get a point or three up there as well? So I
don't think he'll be going there looking for a point.
No, especially the way he talks.
No, they'll be going for 3 points, and you know,
so
that belief should rub off on the players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, we did hear him shouting a lot of things to the players, telling them
positive.
to believe in themselves,
Brilliant.
telling them to back themselves.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You hear him, you know, young Nielsen comes on, he's playing centre back. He's like, go on Lewis, get on the end of the corners. At one spell, the ball goes forward, he's shouting for him to go and play as a centre forward. A 17-year-old kid in the team. He was just, we had a great time listening to him. The amount of encouragement that he was giving to his players, the amount of belief that he has for them, tell them to relax, take their time. I thought he was brilliant.
Right, well, we have been asking for your tweets and we've had a few, but we couldn't not use this one. Brilliant tweet. Harks has a fantastic Barnet. They're asking you to, if you can recall your favourite football Barnet, which I think is a brilliant question just for you two in particular.
Well, I'll be honest, we've had it, lost it, and it's came back at Barnet. But the two that I am interested in, and I'm sure the nation will be as well, is one, what was the ponytail all about, James? And two, what was the red mohawk all about?
I've had some questionable decisions throughout my time. Just have a bit of fun, isn't it? Just express yourself. You know, don't conform. Be different. Certainly was different, but mine's is still better than Boydie's anyway.
There's one thing, that little rat's tail at the back when he was younger.
Yeah.
I can always remember when we were playing against each other in the youth team, and that wee thing was just bobbing about at the back.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's
you
because
two,
it was the back of my head, you can see.
At least I've got all my own hair. That's all I'm saying.
That's our hair. It's just been moved.
Okay, well, au natural anyway. Guys, thank you much for joining me tonight, and those tweets, keep them coming. Absolutely brilliant stuff. More Scottish Premiership action to come at the weekend. We're back with Hibernian at Easter Road as they take on Motherwell. That's from 5 o'clock, and then on Sunday we're at the Tony Macaroni Arena for Livingston against Rangers from 3:30. Both those games are live on Sky Sports Football. Well, Hibs' lightning start to the season continues. 3 wins from 3 as they go outright top of the table. It wasn't quite the game that we perhaps promised you tonight, but a vital 3 points for the visitors, and Dundee United, I'm sure, will take plenty of positives from this match into their next as well. We will see you again at the weekend. Join us then. Bye for now.